It was mentioned to us yesterday that no one's talked too much about relationships and how one might forgive, and I thought maybe we might mention a little bit about that.
Well, the one thing that we always say, Jerry and I always say, is we can't imagine having an intimate relationship, or especially a marriage, if it's not based on forgiveness. I mean, you know, we use forgiveness every day practically, you know, with each other, with ourselves, and that, so it becomes a basic platform for intimate relationships.
So let's just give you a mundane example from Diane's and my personal life. And I happen to like to eat bagels that have poppy seeds on them. And we have a very small house, and Diane's office is upstairs, and I like to go to the kitchen and get my bagel. I oftentimes eat it on the way to my office, where it's over here. And oftentimes there's a trail of poppy seeds that...
You can always tell where Jerry's been in the house.
And many times I try to clean them up, but not to Diane's satisfaction. And one day Diane was getting kind of grumpy about this, and you might kind of share that story.
Well, Jerry always actually cleans. He does more than half the cleaning and chopping and everything, so there's no complaints about that. But one day, you know how some days you're just grumpy? You know, you're just grumpy. That's just the way it is, you know. And it doesn't happen often with me, but it happens. And I was coming from my office upstairs, and the kitchen is white. It has white tile, and, you know, black poppy seeds show up on the floor. And normally I don't even think about it, you know. Sometimes you have just a habit, you know. I came in, I'd take a towel, and I'd moisten it, and I'd get down on my knees, and I'd clean up the extra poppy seeds, because Jerry does clean it up. It's just not the same way, like he said, that I would clean it up. And one day I came in, and I was just, like I said, I was grumpy, and I came in and I looked at the poppy seeds, and I just went, grumbling around, and I got the towel, and I went to get down on my knees to clean up the poppy seeds, like I always did, but this time I was grumbling. And all of a sudden, it's amazing what can happen in an instant. All of a sudden, I looked at these poppy seeds, and I imagined if there were no poppy seeds anywhere, and it was perfectly clean all the time. And then I realized, well, that would probably mean that Jerry wasn't here anymore. And all of a sudden, I looked at those poppy seeds, and they looked so good. They looked so great. And I started crying, you know, and I left all the poppy seeds on the floor. I put down that towel, and I went out, and I just hugged Jerry, you know, I just grabbed him, and I was just so glad he was there. And they became like a symbol for me of, you know, of him being, you know, in my life. And it was just an incredible lesson of how just a shift in perception, that the outside world didn't have to change at all, but like just a shift in my perception changed everything. And it was poppy seeds from a bagel, you know. And so we really now, we recognize in our life that there are opportunities for miracles, which to me is like a shift in perception. That they can happen in an instant, and they're everywhere if we're willing to find them, and if we're open enough to find them.